Deluxe.
I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been.
Never trust the living.
Is there something I should be waiting for? Yeah. 'Cause so far you've got me falling. I wanna breathe and live in fantasy.
So it's a happy days on podcast.
Is right here.
Mntwana yami.
Sesla.
Right here.
Uyazi
Sesla.
mntwana mnandi.
Live at Sakums.
Namhlanje sisi Orlando
Yeah.
Sakums.
Yeah, Orlando West.
Sakums. Istrate siwembuzi.
Ngeke uzubuke.
Ngeke usabuka.
Yeah. Akhuphuka phezulu
Yeah.
Madiba House.
Mina basuka la siyada. Yeah.
Basuka la siyada. Ngeke usabuya ama restaurant angasuki phansi. Abantu gcwele phithi. December.
busy.
Angeke nje ubuye awuthamba.
I-festive.
And then we say spice up ke. Spice
Yeah.
up ngebeauty.
Yeah,
understand.
Namhlanje guest
Spice
yethu.
up ngebeauty.
Yabona ngathi ngishayanyana vandaag ngizoncola bazongicolela mfethu. Ngishayanyana vandaag. Yeah. Okay, our guest today, the one and only
Maleh.
I'm happy to be happy with you guys today.
No,
It's a happy day to have a good day.
yeah.
Maleh, siyajabula ukuthola sisukuthi usishayele around.
Yes, thank
Sikhuluma
you.
la eSoweto. And apparently you told me ukuthi sisase of air ukuthi gane khona la eSoweto.
Umuntu like us.
Vele nami ngiwalayika si
Yeah.
nge-album yami yokuqala Stepchild.
Okay.
It was recorded Itumeleng Epileng rather, sorry. Epileng.
Okay.
Yes. I think like in White City.
Yeah.
White seat.
White
Cancer.
seat.
Okay. Oh, why you
There was a
recording
studio there, honale guy but I to you on the studio that side.
Hook up.
Hook up,
Yeah.
get into the vibes, that's so it. So I always love to say that because it's part true.
No.
So yeah, partly
Wonderful.
Soweto.
I'm partly Sowetan.
Yeah.
Okay, so Maleh, but maybe that's about Maleh, but they don't know the name and surname.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alefelletse ke Maleh hloka hlalele.
Wow.
Ke modang wa ha hlalele.
Okay.
Mana mantshitse a morapedi.
Yeah.
Mana le bitse la kgomo le thadi. So
Give some more.
But nje ukukhula kwakho na Maleh uqale kanjani like nje usitshele nje nge-early childhood yakho ukuthi ihamba kanjani.
So I was born in Lesotho. Home is Maseru. I'm the second of 3 girls. Christian family. I would say relatively a good upbringing. You know, Basotho are very humble people. Abanomthetho kune community kakhulu so I think
Yeah, but
that's
it's maka di parents ngiyana sisho. So we pala mi
happy Lesotho.
we pala mi parents. Yeah.
Of all things. So
Balidla.
yeah, so then umama wasebenza eThabansho, which is how we crossed over to the Free State.
Okay.
And that's pretty much where I grew up as well for the most part of my upbringing. Thabansho, and then I later moved to Bloemfontein in my high school years.
Okay.
And that's really where I started kind of looking at my singing more than just a hobby or something that I did for talent shows. I started checking out studios in Bloemfontein, and then I came across my first professional group that I was part of called Kaya. That's where my career started in 2008. Oh, I'm old. Let's say early 2000, 2001 or 2.
Okay.
I can officially say I became a professional singer. Yeah. In high school, by the way.
So, but then we went out to
so singing for me, I guess, you know, when you come from a background where, for instance, my dad used to be a guitarist. He used to play with a called Blue Diamonds. The Late
Okay.
was a part of it many years ago. So I think it's just something that generally you always like to say someone in the family must have been gifted with it.
Yeah.
So from my dad's side of the family, that's where the love. I was just always one of those children that when I wake up I sing, and then the household knows that I was
Yeah. And Maleh, how startup was it? Did you? I'm sure you faced challenges.
Yeah, for sure.
Which were those challenges?
Look, for me, moving to a big city, coming from a small town, was the first challenge. In that you're talented, you want to gather people together, and maybe not so many people from the town that I came from believed in music as a career. So firstly, moving to Bloemfontein was my first move in terms of just overcoming that kind of challenge of infrastructure or having the kind of studio setups that you would need to explore your first demo. So that would be the first. I think just also as an artist, I find a lot of artists don't overcome the fear of firstly stage fright. And also just the reality that you have to engage an audience. And I think that I learned that, like I always say, the group Yakaya was the group that taught me how to engage, particularly a South African audience, how to really make sure so I think a lot of talented people don't overcome those kinds of challenges. In the industry generally, I guess it's still a constant challenge trying to find your space, particularly getting marketing done, PR done. That's a continuous kind of challenge, I guess.
Maybe before we continue, maybe let's accept it. I want to talk to you.
He's a voice.
Great Tizer. Wait, I say something to Saturday. Great Tizer. Start my chance.
So Maleh, and then sorry, also coming from another country. I know Lesotho, is part of now is part of us, but coming from a so-called foreign country to come to Dayz, to come to South Africa, that shift, especially in the entertainment industry, I could imagine it was not an easy thing. How was that also for you?
For me, I think I would say that I was blessed in that my coming to Johannesburg was also attached to me studying. So in that regard, I guess more of my focus had to go into me working on attaining some kind of career. I studied film production. I studied film production, majored in cinematography, and while I was doing that, I was able to kind of find my way, within the industry, connecting to different producers, different DJs. It is a challenge, and definitely if you're not from your own land, there's several challenges you'll come across. But for me, I think it was a little bit easier because, like I say, I had grown up so much in the Free State. But Joburg is that big city, man, Who's Pitipit, and connecting with people is not always the easiest thing to do. But I think being an artist, that's one of the things that you just naturally have to learn to know how to hang out with the table, put your best foot forward, make the kind of connections that will eventually help you down your path.
So getting into your music, how would you describe it?
Because African tradition. How do you describe your music?
Look, the thing is, people are just open to kind of interpreting it different ways. When I first came out with my first album, I felt like it was more an Afro jazz album because I worked with a jazz producer, and so it really, that jazz influence was so there. You couldn't run away from it. But I guess overall, it is pop music in the sense that it is quite mainstream. And for me, I think Maleh is a soulful voice. Yeah, so when people ask me what kind of music I make, I say Afro soul.
Okay.
I say Afro soul. because then it just captures the full essence of who I am, I guess. But definitely, on a broader scale, people will call it Afro-pop. Yeah.
Now, checking 17 years back, this album they were released, Kimo Africa, is it or Kimo Africa is part of the album or is it a title track?
So, Kimo Africa is on my first album, Stepchild.
Okay.
Oh, the very Stepchild.
I think the very Stepchild, Kimo Africa is on that first album. I was really at a place where, first of all, I want to say, and I always say, it was a song.
And the most on this is
Yes, joy.
abantu bangazumsindo se-restaurant nesakhumzi
abantu bangamamhlanje umsindo sasakhumzi guys bazo-understand please yeah
ongamncedi nithini ongamncedi
Is this all for me?
yeah
Thank you so much. Thank you.
all for you
yeah
It tastes like I like it.
yeah thina sila nje
It tastes nice and slow. I was saying
Now we're talking about that Stepchild album.
Oh yeah, so
That's the one.
that was my debut album. I was very much inspired, particularly with the song Kim Africa. I was inspired by Suki Wadana. Yes, and she recently come out with her album Bantu Biko Street.
Yeah, Bantu Biko.
And I absolutely love that particular song, but what also captured me was a Xhosa woman singing in her language. I always I always refer to Tamisha Mazwai as well because these were the women who came to show us that being African is such a beautiful, proud of being African is such a beautiful way of expressing yourself as an artist. So Kim Africa was my own conversation to myself to say, even though I didn't get the opportunity to grow up in Lesotho, I always had felt like that robbed me of the opportunity to know the language as rich. It's such a rich language. And so I challenged myself. That's a sort of second one. Say basic. I was barely 5 when I left Lesotho. So one of the first languages I learned as I was just starting to speak is Setswana as well. So I just find that in one way I'm grateful because then it's always allowed me to be very to just appreciate our different languages. Hence you see me I just love different languages and I love to embrace them. So Kim Africa was one of those songs for me as an artist for the first time writing as a soul. I generally write in English. I generally have always approached poetry in English, but this time
so dipina tsa hao wa ingwalla
for the most part, yeah. I guess generally because as an artist, your human experience, you often just take pen to paper.
Okay.
And whatever it is you're going through, different emotions, that's the first thing you do. So, mabe ngikhule inhliziyo ngiyabhala ukuthi etc. And I think obviously we're as human beings we're all going through the same things, the different instances in life. So when you write what is personal to you, people are much easier or readily willing to relate.
And now that album was, I would say, well received. That's the one album Dayz which now is
but what's happening?
I must say that album was very nice. And besides Africa, there are songs because when
Yeah.
So as I would the way about chatting
it was the first album and mind you it was just after my two successful songs on the house scene.
Oh, on the house scene.
DJ Qness had a song called Uzomanenda.
Okay, yes, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what musician.
my hits from many years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
And also I had track with DJ Ken Foley. So those had come the year or so before, had received a lot of airplay. So people were
So
actually
already, no, those were hits.
yeah,
Those
people
are
were
hits.
actually
Yeah.
expecting for me to
Yeah.
do a house album. And yeah, so I was anticipating some resistance, which I did receive. Some people also in radio spaces who felt I was making a mistake. But I mean, honestly, therefore, the reception on when the actual album dropped, and particularly Step Child was the first single, how people received that, I think just kind of changed the course of the career that I've chosen to kind of walk for. It's 20 years now, actually, of being a professional singer. So, yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very happy that it went down well. And it was so well received by the likes of Rich.
So COVID for when how was it? I can imagine a lot of musicians, a lot of people in general, they struggle. When how was that?
COVID was it was a painful period for the world, just in general. And I think I don't just speak for myself, or just I know that artists. Those who couldn't work remotely. And yet still I was surprised at how a lot of artists were able to come out and kind of still give of themselves during the whole what is it called, virtual concert and all of that. It was inspiring to see, but it was a very difficult time, I don't want to lie, for everybody. And then the not being able to work when performing for people who are gathered in work. It was extremely painful and difficult and testing. For me, though, I was in studio at the time, and I was able to kind of.
No break the COVID protocol.
No, it was a good thing for me that I was able to still continue on my creative side and not completely just be at home doing nothing, I was also pregnant, which was also an exciting time for me. I was expecting my second born. Yeah, so I think that was a blessing. It helped me through that difficult period. No, it's so the last album.
Nazi into ikhala kahle sorry Maleh. Wapitizela guys.
Ibhizi mina namafruits la.
Kahle ngambe kuba yini ngithelelayo. Mara it's fun izokuyeka.
So what do we promise about Maleh? We are releasing.
2010 was
What
the
was
first
it?
album, Stepchild, followed by You Make My Heart Go, I think 2014 or so, which we pushed for about 2 years. So 2017 was the year I always say, kind of my world came crashing down on me on a personal front. I had a relationship break out.
Jolo. Nelim Jolo.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Happy Days on podcast.
It's right here.
Ngendlela right.
Ngendlela talk.
Spethu Maleh.
It's Maleh. Siyaqhubeka ngendaba.
Yeah.
Still like a collaboration.
In future. Maybe Bokabza is
Bokabza the small.
Yeah,
yes.
you want.
Hey, Kabza, how you doing?
Ramkenyo. Rise it up.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. I've worked recently with Shimza. That was also very exciting. We had a song come out titled Fight to Love. Yeah. And I think
Everything marato.
no, but can I tell you, you notice these things years later, you look back and like, hey, maybe that's what I'm called for. Yeah. So For me, I'm definitely very excited about collaboration, man. Like, I know I just did with Shimza recently. We just hollered at the brothers out there.
Okay.
I love Casper in your vest every
yeah.
day. Yo, what up, Casper? Yeah, I think I just love. You know what? You always want to stay young.
Yeah.
And then Salimucha,
I know.
So I think there's still a lot of work to be done for sure, without a doubt. Yeah.
So I understand also the album, you have a song in Swahili.
Swahili, yes. Cosmic Love Milela. I worked with a lady who I met in Balito. She's a fashion designer, Kathy. She's the one who wrote the Swahili part for me. She's from Kenya.
Okay.
I think, like I say, African languages are so many, and one of the things for me is always trying to find a beautiful song.
Okay.
And find a language to express myself in. So it's a stunning one. I love it very much. Yes.
Abithi khona onale bathi ba performa nkonke kama uma limele sikhulume ukuthi perform khona la.
Oh yeah, no. Khona manje.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Put your cat down.
So let's get to the conversation. And then there's also I think an inspiration from Shingwe.
In the album, yes. No, it's not just love songs.
Yeah.
It's mostly love songs.
Yeah.
But there's always messages to it. I know there's a track on the album, one of my favorites, titled March On. I wrote it because I just had a baby boy.
Okay.
And I was like, then it dawns on me one day.
No, umuntu aniphume stress kungakhona.
Yeah, no, anyway, I was just thinking of Amanda Black song. Yes. Anyway, so I just had a boy, a child, and I think as a mother, when that happens to you for the first time, I've always wanted girls, but having a son, you realize there's actually so much challenge in terms of in terms of, I don't know what it takes to become a man. I know the struggles we go through as women, but I can recognize that men also are challenged in many ways to become the best version of themselves. So this particular song, he speaks to the idea of this young man growing up. One day he's going to be a hustler out there in the jungle called life. And I really just want to encourage him that don't take the shortcut. And don't live the fake life, hustle and work your way up the stairs of life, So that's kind of the message of this particular song. It's titled March On, and it's not just for my son, it's for young men out there who are faced with the challenge of becoming a responsible man. And then I wrote Fire Dance, and the one I just mentioned earlier, that one's for my daughter. That's one's for my baby girl.
And then balancing being a parent in your career is how has it been for you?
Guys, like for instance, this year I went to London for a month. Right? That was the longest time I've ever spent away from my kids. And he was, I think, just about a year and a half when I left. So I realized, oh my gosh, I just left a baby for that period of time. But I think, it would make them proud. I think for every parent, when you're following your dream and when you're really doing the things that you are supposed to do, that leave an example for your children, then they grow up and, like, my mom went away for 3 years when I was 3 years old to study in Zimbabwe. She got a degree. Today, I'm better for it. It must have been difficult for her, especially for me as well. The trauma of it was probably there to an extent, but such is life. So I really always try to remind myself that I'm a human being first, having my own experience, and Nabo, they must have their own experience. And I try my best to balance. When my daughter sometimes says to me, because I work a lot during the weekend, no, mommy, sometimes I don't get to see you. She wants to complain, right?
Yeah.
And I tell her, hey, right now, I'm here every day of the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm like parents who have an 8 to 5. They experience me a lot more. Just comes back from school and when she goes to school, I'm 7 drama, so it's just a balance, and now that's
So maybe just to put it up,
up and coming.
what can be your advice to them?
Firstly, your relationship to God, number one.
Yeah.
I think what happens is that as human beings, we just generally feel ourselves so much. We work according to our own strength. We think we got this.
Yes, especially in these days.
Yeah, especially in these days, like we don't have regard for God that creator. So coming from a Christian background, my relationship with Christ is key. So I don't hide that one. That one, if anyone knows Maleh, that's my first advice. Have your personal relationship with God, because He's the one who's going to. He's already written the book for you. So if you do it His way, it's so much quicker and easier to get there. Like, sometimes I look at my life and I see that, hey, if I had been focused, if I hadn't been distracted with the joys of the youthful,
Not.
I might have been further than I am now, right? So that's the first thing I would say. And then always just believe in yourself and appreciate just who you are. Like, don't try to be anybody else. Like, just find the beauty in your flaws and your strengths, and work on what God has already given you, and shine. And then just believe, especially when it comes to the music industry. Believe that one day you'll be sitting, you'll be happy. Podcasting. This is my first podcast. I know podcasts are recent. This is my first podcast, guys.
No, it's top.
It's the first top one.
After
So what is your favorite artist? Who's your
one of my favorites?
Besides where?
Currently, oh my gosh, that's so interesting. I think Azana. I think she's really dope. She's one of the young artists that I'm just like, gone. Like talented, gifted. I love, and I must mention, I love Kelly Father.
Okay. Yeah, I know she's talented.
I love her
she's talented.
And I love how she believes in herself.
Yeah, confidence. Yeah.
So, big up to my big sister in music, I think those are artists that are really working hard. I mean, there's a lot of amazing artists. But I guess if I'm mentioning 2 women in the industry who excite me to see and to watch.
Maybe don't know Siva.
Now so good.